Stephen Miller, Katie Miller, Elon Musk are back in the news because of Governor Newsom, who I just think is doing an incredible job throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's kind of what you need to do. And I have to just say that this moment with Christy Gnome is so funny. It's just so funny. It's so funny. And I also have Cash Patel freaking out on the internet because these folks are complete babies and they have the personality of a 5-year-old, but they're running important levers of government. Here is one example, which is Christy Gnome when she tries to go to the bathroom in Illinois and she gets denied.
No, you cannot.
We can? Okay. All right. Thank you. Interesting. That's what Governor Pritzker says is cooperation in keeping people safe.
It's so funny to me because these are the people who are just like try to control all aspects of our lives. They want to decide where an adult can go to the bathroom. And then she gets upset when it's kind of the favors returned to her.
So why wouldn't they let you in? What's been going on here? What's been going on here, Secretary?
We were coming to go out.
By the way, the person speaking is Benny Johnson, the alleged homosexual who is a MAGA far-right conservative and loves making babies, but also apparently loves doing stuff with conservative college-age men, allegedly at conservative conferences.
And do some operations to pick up some guys with criminal convictions on them, and the city police wouldn't even let us use a restroom.
And you were just blocked by a worker here for the city?
A worker at the municipal building here in Broadmoor would not allow us to go in and to use a restroom at the police station. So as much as these local leaders and governors talk about cooperating and having the backs of our law enforcement officers, this is what we have to put up with every single day. And all we're doing is getting criminals and terrorists and cartels and gang members off the streets to make families safer here. It's ridiculous.
I mean, is impeding law enforcement? I mean, this is a real problem around here.
This is a real problem.
Impeding law enforcement because you couldn't go poop in the bathroom. It is insane. It is insane. We have to laugh. Now, as I said, Governor Newsom kind of blew this thing back wide open between Katie Miller, Stephen Miller, and Elon Musk. And Katie Miller is trying as best she can to make it seem like everything's totally normal between her and Stephen Miller. But this is what she said about her husband.
You are married to Stephen Miller, so you are the envy of all women. What is that like?
The sexual matador, right?
What is it like being married to such a sexual matador?
He is an incredibly inspiring man who gets me going in the morning with his speeches being like, let's start.
Ugh, I can't get over that. Anyway, the lady doth protest too much because, as you probably remember, Elon Musk took Stephen Miller's wife. This feels like, doesn't that feel like so long ago? I feel like we were so innocent back then when we were talking about Elon Musk and whether or not he was sleeping with Stephen Miller's wife and how Stephen Miller's wife left the White House to work with Elon Musk. Things felt so quaint back then. I don't know. But regardless, that was a story then. And Katie Miller, a top advisor and spokesperson for the Department of Government Efficiency at the White House, headed out to work for the tech billionaire. Goes on to say here she would work with Musk full-time and had already started help him set up interviews related to his Doge work as his bids for the government farewell. Well, that ended because she then started her own podcast, I guess, because everyone has to have a podcast. And we've watched some of that podcast on this channel, and that is some of the boringest shit I've ever watched in my entire life. It's so bad. It's so bad. But Stephen Miller, this is the thing that Governor Newsom responded to. He said, sign up to become a Homeland Defender vetting applications at whatever. Okay. All right. Because the government is just insane right now. But I'm glad we have Governor Newsom who said this. The guy sitting in the hotel armchair wants you to defend the homeland. Slay, queen. Defend the homeland. Slay. All right, now, if you don't understand what that reference is, the Democrats actually did a helpful meme for us. When was this? In May. And this is what, oh God, am I going to explain this to you? I'm going to explain this to you. Please, if you have children in the room, let's give them 5 seconds to either cover their ears, or you can turn off this video, because what I'm about to say, I don't know if they'll understand it, but you probably don't want them hearing it. Okay, so this is what it's called. Are you ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is what's called a cuck chair. And a cuck chair at a hotel room means it's a chair you sit in while you watch your lover make love to someone else. Because apparently this is what cucks are. This is a far-right word for someone who takes sexual pleasure from watching the person they love get enjoyed by someone else. Okay? And so that is why Governor Newsom, isn't that crazy? It's crazy he's saying that. It's crazy that the governor of California is like, the guy sitting in the cuck chair wants you to defend the homeland. Anyways, I do think that's what you got to do. You got to fight fire with fire, okay? So thank you to Gavin Newsom for doing that. Finally, we're fighting. Now, who's also fighting is the FBI, and they are going after James Comey. Now, we learned yesterday that an FBI agent actually was relieved of duty for declining to arrange a perp walk of the Bureau's former director, James Comey, in front of news media cameras after Comey was federally charged last month. Now, Comey has obviously denied all of these charges, and they're stupid made-up charges. I'm no defender of James Comey. I mean, I feel like the reason why Donald Trump is president is kind of because of the thing he did with Hillary Clinton's emails saying, we found more emails, like 10 days before the election. But doesn't mean he should be politically prosecuted by our government. Anyways, an FBI spokeswoman declined to comment. Barbara McQuaid said this, and I did not know this, but apparently Department of Justice policy prohibits perp walks in which arrestees are paraded before cameras. And Kash Patel, as I said, these are literally 5-year-olds in charge of important aspects of our government, said, breaking MSNBC, still an ass clown factory of disinformation. Same circus animals that slobbered all over perp walks of Stone, Navarro, Bannon. MSNBC has no facts and no audience in this. FBI, follow the chain of command or get relieved. None of those people had perp walks, Stone, Navarro, Bannon. You can search the internet right now. Perp walk, Roger Stone. Doesn't exist. Now, Roger Stone released a picture from his own camera of him getting arrested, but that's not a perp walk. That would be like if they literally invited cameras. And I want to end with this because the Fox News host actually went after Trump for lying about Project 2025, which I thought was kind of amazing.
The other reality check comes in the form of what President Trump was saying on Truth Social about getting together with his OMB director, Russ Vought, to talk about changing the face of the federal government. He said, I have a
Wait, it's Russ Vought? I've been saying Vought this whole time. Vought?
meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut, whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. Remember what Donald Trump said a year ago. I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who's behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. So I'm wondering, Francesca, did he just learn about Project 2025 in the last year, or did he know about it all along?
And it's also not clear, John, whether or not he was actually sitting there with Russ Vought and going line by line, himself and deciding what is or isn't being cut here. Because, of course, prior to this, the Office of Management and Budget, as well as the Office of Personnel Management, they had sent out messages to these various agencies saying, no, you send us plans for who you think that you should cut, and then we'll approve them. And I will also note that one of the messages that was sent out last weekend told them, oh, by the way, we might also bring people back to have the minimum number required to fulfill the statutory mandate. So it's
whatever. I think it's really important that they show those two different tweets side by side. Now, of course, they could have went in much harder than they did, but I'm glad they did it. And I'm glad you're here. And if you're with me and you're at the end here, do hit like. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I will see you soon. Bye.